bridge scour, specifically in Vermont. So what I did was I looked at bridges and how they fail during extreme flooding events and unique ways of preventing them from failing, specifically focusing on the embankments of bridges. So a lot of bridge embankments actually constrict flow during high storm events and exacerbate the problem of scour. So after an interview with a former professor of UVM, Richard Downer, who worked for FEMA, who mentioned that during high flow events, the bridges that survived the best during Irene were actually ones where the embankments failed before the actual bridge did, and allowed that alternate path for water to go through, and along with debris as well, so that debris wouldn't hit the bridge and potentially cause it to fail. And so what I did was I wanted to quantify what he had observed during Irene using physical and computational assessments. So I built a physical scale model of an actual bridge in Vermont using a flume, and then I built it in a computer as well and simulated the effects of scour using an erodible embankment versus a non-erodible embankment. And the effects are pretty drastic. With a traditionally built embankment, the scour hole was 35 feet deep, which certainly failed to a bridge, certainly contributed to bridge failure. Whereas with an erodible embankment, while the embankment actually failed, the bridge did not even come close to getting scoured underneath, which was a huge improvement over what we have now. In addition, this blown out section will also allow for the passage of debris, which also greatly contributes to bridge scour and failure. And then we wanted to quantify the actual costs. So Ian Anderson performed a cost analysis of the types of damage between scour and flanking, and found that the average scour repair cost for Vermont costs around $240,000, whereas flanking costs around $70,000, because all you have to do is backfill this in with dirt and then repave it, as compared to going in there with specialized equipment and repairing, backfilling it in the stream bank itself, and then repairing it with riprap. And so, yeah, so some conclusions was that this fuse system can be very powerful, but it has to also be utilized correctly. We have to make sure that we don't cut off communities with this fuse. And future work is going to be done under a National Science Foundation fellowship, with doing my master's and then PhD as well.